In spite of calling myself a research scholar and someone who has been writing history of culture, I didn't know about this Sengol episode in our history because no book, no textbook has any reference to it. And what I thought was this Sengol has to be publicized. So I translated the entire Tughlaq article into English and wrote a covering letter to Honorable Prime Minister stating that the Sengol must be brought out from wherever it is and wide publicity should be given during the 75th year celebration of our freedom. This is how the whole thing started.
When did you write this letter to PMO?
Immediately after that article was published in 21. I don't remember because I sent an email letter, but it was 21. Okay. I must say I didn't get any reply immediately. I thought maybe it has gone unnoticed. And it was, Sengol was not part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. But then much better, this came as a big surprise to me that I felt elated that the Sengol is going to be placed in the new Parliament House. It's such a moment of pride. Pride not only to me, it's a moment of pride for every Indian.
It's a part of Tamil. Sengol is seen as a huge part of Tamil tradition. So when you got this news, it's going to be a part of new parliament building. What was your first reaction?
Sengol has been, yes, part of Tamil tradition. Anyone who has studied Tamil literature will know about Sengol. We are used to that term. And it is something, it's called scepter in English. And it has been a tradition in many parts of India, North India also, Dharma Danda as it used to be called. But then I think South India was more fortunate to preserve heritage and historic values than North for known reasons. So Sengol is something which is a symbol of transfer of power. The article says that Lord Mountbatten asked Panditji Nehru, what is the actual symbol of transfer of power? How are you going to manifest this concept of transfer of power from British Raj to Indian Raj? Of course, we'll be signing papers. That's a different matter. That's a mundane, routine work. But is there anything that traditionally is there for symbolizing this transfer of power? Nehru didn't have an answer. He asked Rajaji. Rajaji went to Kanchi Mahaswami and asked him. And Kanchi Mahaswami, I believe, said it's the Rajaguru who usually hands over the scepter to the king who is being coronated. And at that time, Kanchi Mahaswami said, it seems I can't do anything about it. Contact Adinam, Tiruvadurai Adinam, because they have been Rajagurus of the Cholas, and they would actually hand over the scepter to the new king, and they can do the needful. So Rajaji went to Adinam. Tiruvaduthurai Adinam agreed. He commissioned a new scepter to be done by Ummudi Bangaru Chetty sons, and it was done in silver with gold plating. But Adinam could not come because he was having fever. He deputed his junior. So the younger Adinam went along with Odwars. Odwars are the official singers of temples in Tamil Nadu. They sing the Tevarams of 7th century. Even today it is there. In all Shiva temples, the Tevarams are sung. And so the Odwar also went. This is an episode which was narrated by Kanchi Mahaswami to his disciples in 1978. And this was recorded by one Mr. Subrahmanyam, who wrote about Tevaram in 3 volumes. And in one of the volumes, he has completely quoted whatever Kanchi Mahaswami said. So the ceremony was such that Mountbatten was receiving the Sengol from the hands of Adinam, but then it was given back to Adinam. Adinam then poured Ganga water on it, and chanting of Tevaram, it was handed over to Nehru. This is what happened. But then I was interested to know where the scepter is and what happened to it, why no publicity to it. And 75 years later, I thought, well, we are celebrating 75th year. The scepter must be popularized. People should know, even as a student of history. I never read about it in any of the history books that I read. Nobody knows in India that such a beautiful thing had happened. So I translated Sri Gurumurthi's article into English and wrote a covering letter requesting Prime Minister to look into this matter, and the scepter has to find its own place while we celebrate 75th year. I didn't get any reply. Well, I thought it should be one of the letters that have been lost or not looked into. But why, a year and a half later now, I feel elated that it is just not part of 75th year, but it is going to be permanently placed in the building of our pride, the temple of, India's secular government. It will be there standing aloft, symbolizing justice, and it is going to be placed right next to the speaker, I am told. So it's really a proud moment for all of us Indians.
This is seen as the new parliament building. This era is seen as a new beginning for India. So what could be your message to the new parliament and parliamentarians?
I think it's going to be a glorious future, because our Prime Minister has been talking about next 25 years. I've heard of 5-year plans, but first time a Prime Minister is talking about 25-year plan in all sectors, and I'm sure it's going to be the golden age of India.
So on final question, there has been even though it's been hugely appreciated about the Sengol, there has been some voice saying that Sengol is a symbol of monarchy. It's not to the people elected government. So what would be your message to them?
Symbol is not Sengol is just not a symbol of monarchy. It is a symbol of justice. It's a symbol of good governance, to give you another evidence for this. It's not only something of Tamil Nadu, it also has a place in Kerala. Shilapadigaram, the Tamil epic, talks about Cheran Chenguttuvan. Chera is Kerala actually. Cheran Chenguttuvan, when he dies, realizing that he did a mistake because he ordered beheading the hero without going into the details of the case, and Kannagi proves that he was wrong. He feels so guilty that he immediately dies, saying that his Sengol has bent. So this is a phrase from Shilapadigaram. So Sengol is a symbol of justice. It is just not any religion alone. Justice is for any religion, isn't it? It's of ethical value, it is of moral value, it is a symbol of governance, proper governance. So this is what the Sengol means. Sengol actually means, the suffix Shen means refined. Even in Tamil you say Shen Tamil, which means classical Tamil. Kol is just a stick. Sengol means a stick which is symbolizing refinement. Refinement of thought, word and action in governance. So Sengol is something extremely important for governance, whether it is secular or whatever it is. I think India is known as a spiritual culture. More than religious culture, it's spiritual culture, and nobody can deny this fact. And that is why India is respected all over the world. And this alone can save humanity from the way in which it is going.